You are welcome here, wherever you're going to, wherever you're coming from. You are welcome here. You are welcome here, wherever you're going to, wherever you're coming from. You are welcome, 'cause it's a house of love, a house of hope and dreams. It's a house of love. You are welcome here, 'cause it's a house of love, a house of hope and dreams. It's a house of love. You are welcome here. Bienvenido aquí. Yo quiero que vayas tú. Yo quiero que vengas hoy. Bienvenido aquí. Bienvenido aquí. Yo quiero que vayas tú. Yo quiero que vengas hoy. Bienvenido aquí a este lugar de amor. Te sueños e ilusión a este lugar de amor. Bienvenido aquí, si es un lugar de amor. De sueños e ilusión a este lugar de amor. Bienvenido aquí.
Good morning, and welcome to Chalice Unitarian Universalist Congregation. We are a community of diverse beliefs and experiences, nurturing the liberal religious spirit and united by our desire to grow in love and in service. Whoever you are, whomever you love, whatever your life's journey, you're welcome here. Whether you gather with us every Sunday, only occasionally, or especially if this is your first time this morning, we're glad you're here. I'm Alice Dodd, your worship associate today. Our service is led by our minister, Reverend Sharon Wiley. Worship musician is Justin Gray, and our song leader is David Peel. Our tech team is Sarah Komnick. I don't see her, but I do see David, oh, I'm sorry. Gwyn, thank you, and Dean Gadet. Both Reverend Sharon and David Peel have had their COVID test this morning, and so they both seem to be alive and well, and so they don't have to wear their masks if they don't want to. Welcome to our Sunday worship service. To those of you here in the chapel, we welcome you, and those watching live on Zoom, you're also welcome. Here in the chapel, you'll notice that we have the back door open. And this is to ensure good air circulation. We also have 4 air purifiers, so we're trying to keep the air circulating, which is healthier. But please feel free to leave the chapel if you're uncomfortable for any reason. And you'll be able to hear what's happening if you prefer to sit out in the courtyard. For those of you using Zoom, please notice the chat button on your Zoom menu. You're welcome to use the chat box during the service, but just be sure that when you post, that you've opened the little blue box menu where it says select everyone, and that way everyone can see what's being shared. I want to especially welcome those of you who are newcomers at Chalice this morning. Toward the end of the service, there will be a link in the chat box for adding your name to our email list. We also have connection cards here in the chapel for newcomers to fill out after the service. Our weekly email is the best way to get information about the many online groups and activities that we offer using Zoom. Now, let's take a breath together.
we acknowledge that our service is taking place on the stolen territory of the Kumeyaay, meaning humans or people, and the Payamkawishim, meaning Western people. A land acknowledgement works to undo the intentional erasure of Indigenous people and to support the resilience and strength that all Indigenous people have shown. We acknowledge the original inhabitants as a first and critical step toward learning and working with Indigenous communities to secure meaningful partnership and inclusion in the stewardship and protection of their cultural resources and sacred homeland.
Patty Carlisle will light our chalice. Our chalice lighting words come from Judith Corliss. This Sunday in small towns and big cities, many of our sibling Unitarian Universalist congregations are also lighting a flaming chalice. As we light the chalice today, let's remember that we're part of a great community of faith. May this flame inspire us to fill our lives with the Unitarian Universalist ideals of love, justice, and truth. The words of our call to worship are adapted from Jeff May. Come, gather. We share a physical closeness we long for by gathering in this common time and space. We need to be together. We yearn for the connection. We hunger for the familiar faces of friends, the sound of shared voices, which resonate with our hopes, our dreams, and our values. Come, let us worship together. Please rise in body or spirit and join in singing hymn number 19, The Sun That Shines.
The sun that shines across the whispers in the tree, the lark that carols in the sky, the fleecy clouds are sailing by. Oh, I'm as rich can be, for all these things belong to me. The raindrops which refresh the earth, the springtime mantle of rebirth, the summer days where all things grow, the autumn mist and winter snow. Oh, I'm as rich can be, for all these things belong to me. The task well done, the fun of play, the wine who guide me on my way, the balm of sleep when each day ends, the joy of family and friends. Oh, I'm as rich can be, for all these things belong to me.
Our Sunday worship is the shared spiritual practice of our community. And we tend to the congregation during this time by sharing and honoring our joys and sorrows. Here in the chapel, you're welcome to write your joy or sorrow onto a candle card, which will be collected from you. Online, please write your joy or sorrow in the chat box and include your name. These joys and sorrows will be spoken out loud, and then we will remove this part of the service from the recording that goes onto the YouTube channel. So this sharing won't be publicly available online. And if you'd like to send Reverend Sharon a confidential note about your joy or sorrow, or to make a prayer request, please email her. Her email address will be on the screen in a moment.
We'll light a pillar candle this morning for all the joys and sorrows in the room and online that go unshared and unspoken. Even though unshared, they are still held in the love and support of this community. Our story is called Layla's Happiness, written by Maria Dessa Aker-Tali and illustrated by Ashley Corin. My name is Layla. I am 7 years old. Layla means night beauty, and I love the night. The dark sky is pretty. It's the color of dark purple plums. And the full moon, well, it's my favorite. It sits in the sky like a wish flower's sister. If I could reach the moon, I'd blow on it and wish to play the trumpet well without ever having to practice. I think happiness is climbing a tree, or wearing purple, or eating spaghetti without a fork. It's my dad when he talks about growing up in South Carolina, and my mom when she reads me poetry. Happiness is planting a tomato seed and watching it grow in my favorite place, the community garden down the block. In the garden, I can dance with a ladybug on my finger, see butterflies, and chase my friend, Juan. I can feed chickens and give all the trees names. I can even pick vegetables to sell at our farmer's market. I think happiness is hearing Juan's parents laugh after they dance salsa under the magnolia tree. And when the sea reaches into her pocket to give me a sand dollar. I think happiness is showing my mom the outer space flowers in my kaleidoscope. That's what I think. Do you think so too? What is happiness to you? Our reading comes from the Reverend Chris Jimerson. In moonlit shadows at the edge of night-darkened oak trees, I see it. Across sunny pathways, in the buzzing of insects, amongst the flowering forest greenery, I hear it. From the touch of ones loved, the embraces of those gone before me, I feel it. In the poems I love dearly, the songs that speak to my heart, the sculpture that catches my imagination, the discovery still to be made, I sense it. It is in the fire of distant suns, the cool drip of waters, the slight chill in the breeze, the laughter of children, no matter what their age, old and young, grown and still small. It is the breath of life, the stardust of souls, the magic of remembrance. Who am I not to surrender to it in gratitude? Who am I to not be blessed? Today is our ninth annual observance of what I've come to call Adoration Sunday. It is our way of celebrating the pagan holiday of Bealtaine with you. You'll see it spelled, our pronunciation would be Beltane, but it's a Gaelic word and it's pronounced Bealtaine. Also called May Day, it is the cross-quarter day between spring equinox and summer solstice. It's observed around May 1st. The precise midpoint this year will actually be this coming Thursday morning. Bealtaine is a time of celebration. Spring is well underway and new life abounds. Yaltana is often celebrated with a great bonfire. You're likely familiar with the practice of dancing around the maypole. This is therefore an appropriate time of year for us to celebrate what is good in the world with expressions of joy and beauty and love. Such celebrations are even more important when we are living in tumultuous times. Joy, laughter, time with friends and family, these things aren't just a break from everyday life. They are important strategies for sustaining ourselves through difficult times. We need joy, laughter, and time with friends and family. The words I share this day about adoration are the same ones I share each year, my tradition. The word adore comes from Latin and French words that mean to pray and to worship. Adoration in other times and places has included kissing hands, kissing knees or feet, bowing or kneeling, kissing the ground. We know the famous image in art, the Adoration of the Magi. Depictions of the three wise men come to honor the newborn baby Jesus. They adore him with offerings of gold, frankincense, and myrrh. The Christian tradition also observes a practice called the Eucharistic Adoration, wherein the sacred bread of the communion ritual is revered, and those in its presence understand themselves to be in the presence of God. This use of the word adoration in religious context lifts up what is particular about this word when we feel that exuberant joy, when we love with abandon, we feel ourselves connected with all the beauty and wonder of the world around us. The Magi saw the baby and knew themselves in the presence of God. Christians see the Eucharistic bread and know themselves in the presence of God. We might not all embrace the same idea of God, but we do sometimes see a baby or another loved one and know ourselves to be part of a profound interconnectedness. And in that moment, we feel our small place in something so much larger and grander than just us. That connection is what many of us recognize as sacred. Adoration is the most excessive expression of love. So, how can we cultivate this experience in our lives? How can we open ourselves to the joy and the mystery of these moments? There are two components, I think, to offering adoration, to opening ourselves to feeling that: presence and gratitude. Presence and gratitude. We must be on the lookout for opportunities to experience joy, yes? This is the danger of being too connected to your phone or your book or your newspaper or your television. We need to make time to look up from our distractions, from our entertainment, to look up and see the world around us. It might be as simple as going for a walk. It might be as complex as inviting some people over. And when we do these things, we need to be intentional and try to be fully present to what's happening. Listening to the leaves rustling in the trees, listening when people talk, giving our full attention. Take a breath with me right now. Feel the chair or couch under your legs. Feel your clothes against your skin. Feel your breath coming in and going out. It is okay that we don't live fully present all of the time. Some of you Buddhists may be working on more than that, but the rest of us have more moderate goals. But we must, therefore, recognize those special times when being fully present will be a gift we give ourselves. For me, the Chalice Courtyard, Sunday after worship, is one place and time that I try to be fully present to what is happening around me, who I am seeing, the sound of people talking together. I treasure just the murmur of people talking together in a way I didn't before the pandemic. The air on my skin, the sun shining, presence. And then gratitude. Gratitude is not an emotion that rises up and washes over you. Gratitude is a practice and a choice. Gratitude practice is a proven method of improving mood and lifting your spirits. When I'm feeling grouchy, I try to think of 5 things that I'm grateful for. And when I'm grouchy, it can feel hard to get started. But by the 3rd or 4th gratitude I can name, I can feel a lightening of whatever it was that was weighing me down. In joyful moments, of course, we don't have to work so hard. In fact, when we become fully present to what is happening around us, we often find that gratitude flows easily then. We're grateful to be here together. We're grateful to be online together. Grateful to be connected this way. Grateful for everyone who helps make worship happen. Grateful for vaccines and medicine. Once we get going, it's easy, isn't it? Our hearts open and flood with recognition for all that is good in our lives. Let today be a reminder to take time to celebrate all that is beautiful and wonderful about being alive. We come together in praise, in joy, and with love. We come together to let ourselves love exuberantly and unabashedly, and to feel ourselves part of the interdependent web of all existence. And of course, there will be those among us who do not feel the joy and wonder of being alive today. We are all carrying still grief and anger, confusion, fear, worry. Of course we are. And what helps us overcome our grief, anger, confusion, fear, and worry, what keeps us going is love. That's what we're celebrating today. Now, it has often been our practice in this service to share some of what we adore, speaking into the microphone, typing into the chat, giving name to the children in our lives, to beloved pets, places that we love, foods we love to eat. This year, I want us to do something a little different. I want us to take this naming of who and what and where we adore, and I want us to turn it into a conversation to have with another person. So this will be easy for those of you here in person. You can take it to your coffee hour conversation and have that be part of your time after the service. Who do you adore? What's a place you adore? What food is sacred to you? For those of you watching at home or watching the recording, you'll need to take this conversation to someone else in your life, a friend you can phone, someone else in your household. But here's the easy way out. You can also reach out to someone you adore, someone you love, and let them know how important they are to you. That might be the best offering of all. I hope it's okay to share. I received an email this week from one of you just saying, I love you, for no particular reason and with no special explanation. It lifted my spirits this whole week. Letting someone in your life know how important they are to you, even if you think it's obvious or that you say it all the time. Letting someone know that is a gift. So I'm asking you to take the ideas from this morning and then take them with you out of the service, out into the world, and use them to connect with other people. Who are you not to surrender to it in gratitude? Who are you not to be blessed? May our own experiences of joy and wonder, of adoration, be a gift we can share with others, inviting more and more joy and wonder into this world, a balm for hurting hearts, a lift for faltering spirits. May it be so. You're invited to rise in body or spirit to join in singing.
We celebrate the web of life, its magic could we sing, for we can see divinity in every living thing, a fragrant of the perfect whole in cactus and in quail, as much in tiny hornpickle as in the great blue whale. Of ancient dreams we are the sum, our bones link stone to stone, and bind our future worlds to come with worlds that were and are. Respect the water and the air, which give us culture's birth. Protect the lives of all that share the glory of the earth.
The Sunday offering is an expression of the generosity that makes our congregational life possible. Our offering words are by Eric Walker Wickstrom. It is said the Lord loves a cheerful giver, yet we'll accept from a grouch as well. May each of us look not into just our wallets or our checkbooks. Let's also look into our hearts and see what's available there. How much love, how much generosity, how much faith, how much gratitude, how much hope. And let's take our offering from that account. Please text your donation to Chalice. If you haven't texted a donation before, know that once you text the amount, you'll get a reply with a link to follow to enter your credit card information. And if you've already entered this information previously when you've donated, you won't need to enter it again. If your Sunday donation is meant to be part of your pledge payment, please be sure to indicate pledge in the dollar amount. The phone number for text donations will be on the screen in a moment. Please give generously. Please join in dedicating our offering with words of affirmation. Congregation, our mission is to inspire individual and communal spiritual growth.
I'm grateful for the sun that shines. I'm grateful for the rain. And when life's bumps and life's bruises come, I'm grateful all the same. So just knowing I am a lonely soul, hand in hand with a world full of lonely souls, brings peace and love to my beating heart, and faith blooms in me again. I'm grateful for music that I may hear. I'm grateful for a tune, the songs that seem to flow through my mind like a river chasing the moon. So just knowing I am a lonely soul, hand in hand with a world full of lonely souls, brings peace and love to my beating heart, and faith blooms in me again. I'm grateful for a smiling face. I'm grateful to see you today. I'm grateful for nature around us all, and for feeling each joy and each pain. Somehow knowing we are all lonely souls, hand in hand with every lonely soul, brings peace and love to each beating heart, and faith blooms in us again. And what is this faith that I'm speaking of? It isn't in some old bearded man up above. It's music and poetry, beauty and love in all of us everywhere. It's music and poetry, beauty and love in all of us everywhere.
It's been a while since I took time in a service to talk about COVID for a few minutes, but here we are. I just want to lift up, because it's all of the information we used to get is gone, and now information comes in a different way. And the concern of public health is how many people are in the hospital. So anyway, I feel like it's harder to track what's going on. So I just want to name that we're very fortunate to have wastewater tracking of virus in our county, and so that indicates that that spread is increasing right now. And sort of my own personal barometer I found during the past 2 years is like, oh, I know people right now who have COVID who are fully vaccinated and don't quite know how they got it because they're careful and wear their mask. So I just want to lift that up for our community. I enjoy the ways in which we're doing more things, and There's more things to go and do, and especially those of you who are 75 and older, vaccinated and boosted, the virus is still deadly. So just to remind us all to be careful. As joyful as we are to fling off our masks and be with family and friends, you can do that and still be careful. And I also just want to take a moment before praying. I just want to take a moment of silence for the people of Ukraine. Thank you. Will you join me in the spirit of prayer? Spirit of life, who draws us together in a web of holy relationships, make your presence known with us and in us and among us. Remind us that we are not alone in history. Ignite us with the courage of the living tradition. Remind us that we are not alone in entering the future. Anchor us with patience and perseverance. Remind us that we are not alone in our times of grief and pain. Comfort us with your Spirit, manifest in human hands and voices. Remind us that we are not alone in joy and wonder. Inspire us to honor and extend the beauty we find in this world. Divine music of the universe, let our hearts beat in diverse and harmonious rhythms, cooperating with an everlasting dance of love. May we move with the rhythms of peace. May we move with the rhythms of compassion. May we move with the rhythms of justice. Source of stars and planets and water and land, open our hearts to all of our neighbors. Open our souls to a renewal of faith. Open our hands to join together in the work ahead. So be it. Blessed be and amen. That prayer came from the Reverend Lynn Cox. You are invited again to rise in body or spirit to join in singing.
gentle thought. source of all to thee we raise this our hymn of grateful praise.
Before we close this service, I'd like to remind newcomers online to please use the link in the chat box to add your name to our email list. Sending words are written by Susan Carlson. We are blessed by our connections to one another and to the Spirit of life. Feel the joy of the breath in your lungs and the fire in your heart. Live to love and be a blessing on this earth. Patty, will you extinguish the chalice, please? Love and blessings to each of you. Blessed be. You're invited to close our time together by singing The Well. And after our closing hymn, please take your seats again for a quick announcement.
Together, cool, cool water that quenches my thirst, a thirst for justice, a thirst for joy, a thirst for a love that we're all a part of. We drink from the well. We drink from the well together. Hand in hand we are standing as one. Standing for justice, standing for joy, stand for a love that we're all a part of. We drink from the well. Open the doors to the world outside, spirits renewed from within. Look for the dream in each other's eyes, the spark where a new world begins. Yes, we drink from the well together. Heart to heart we are dancing as one, dancing for justice, dancing for joy, dance for a love that we're all a part of. We drink from the well, spirits renewed. We drink from the well, stand hand in hand. We drink from the well, dancing for joy. I feel my heart so